The following program contains coarse language and nudity.
Hello.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Howdy ho, listeners. You're listening to the one, the only video game show podcast. You are sitting here with us. To my left is Jake Friedel, the one, the only. He's on the show again. He couldn't get enough of it. He had to come back.
I found two people I haven't offended yet, so going for those last two right now.
All right, fair enough. Well, and over to my far left is a gentleman that you haven't seen in a little bit, but he's back, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Rich Bergen.
Bang, howdy, VGS listeners, and welcome back in. Holy crap! It's been a while since I've had to do that.
Yeah.
I gotta say, it's been odd. I mean, it's really only technically been two of these episodes that I haven't been on, but it feels like such a long time. And I gotta tell you, it was very weird listening to and editing and doing shows that I was not in any way, shape, or form a part of. But I think y'all did a bang up job while I was gone. So
thank you. It was not easy.
Thank you for that. Yeah, so I'm glad to be back here in the saddle again.
Welcome back.
Should be back regularly now.
Now, we're gonna eventually get into this. There's stuff I want to bring up that you and I were able to gripe about because you were out. So I can't wait to get. Okay. Just know that I'm excited for that.
Sure. I'm excited. Good. I can feel your excitement, which makes me excited.
And when we feel each other's excitement, nothing bad goes wrong.
No.
High five.
No, we
All
don't.
right.
We don't
Thank you.
feel each other's excitement.
So as we were saying. Thank you for listening on the VGS show. I'm just going to go ahead and pimp this out, get this out of the way. If you don't know, you should know. We've been talking about this forever and ever and ever. This is like Dr. Dre's album, except it's going to happen, okay?
Just 2001 or whatever it was, or 2000?
No, that was The Chronic.
Oh, okay.
The one after The Chronic, he kept talking about it for years and years and years. And, there's an ambulance. And he talked about it for years and years, and then he never really released it. Until, I think he did last year, but it was kind of, ho-hum. Anyways, what I was talking about is...
New Mama Cooking Mama.
It was what I was going to say until Jake stole my thunder. Yes.
Big Bird's egg catch.
Oh,
Jake
man.
is going to be, he's really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And I could not care less because Jake's taste in games are terrible, as you can obviously hear.
Yep.
No, the Mo Game Con, people. The Mo Game Con. Once again,
Heard
August.
about this.
Yeah. It's going to be a real hoot, a hoot-nanny and a hoedown. August 13th, 2016, Elks Lodge, 6330 Heege Road, Afton. Represent Afton, Missouri, 63123. Ticket prices, $10 per ticket, or $5 and 2 canned goods. So, do the nice thing. Bring canned goods.
Yes.
No cream corn.
What? Okay, well, we had a good thing going until you said no cream corn. You don't like cream corn?
No, that's what you give people when you don't want it. That's your grandma pawning off her
Wasn't
her
it one
canned
of you who
goods.
said that you take that can of low-sodium vegetable soup you bought that one time by mistake and do something with it?
I think it was myself or Jake, yeah, because I have that in my cabinet. I got vegetable soup, and I'm not going to use vegetable soup. It's 2013, people.
So you're just
Who needs vegetables?
You're just going to pawn on the poor people?
I'm going to bring cream corn, and I'm going to give it to Jake.
I won't eat it. It'll just end up there.
You know what? While you're doing that, and that's all very good, maybe check your Sunday circular and look for when Walmart or somebody's having a deal on 5 for $2 Chef Boyardee
Chicken and
ravioli,
rice.
Or chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice.
No, I'm not donating chicken and rice. I'm donating it to my stomach. The only thing I do with chicken and rice, Campbell soup, is donate to myself.
You can give somebody a can of chicken and rice.
All right, Rich, fine.
They might have a cold and it'll help.
You're right. I don't want people to be with cold. So anyways, Mo Game Con, August 13th, 2016, $10 your ticket. Show up. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on there. It's sponsored by Game Trader 2, which we are here once again at yours truly, Game Trader 2.
Two Hawks, St. Charles, Missouri, 63303.
63303 is the zip code.
Oh, we got it
Rich
that
knew
time.
it. The whole time we're like, Game Trader 2 in St. Charles.
It's got 5
Let's-
Let's be honest here. I tend to script that zip code a lot, so that might be right. I don't know. actually.
we're willing to take that chance.
Sure.
We got Adam Korlick coming, and Jake, you know Adam, don't you?
I do.
Yeah. We got
Good guy.
Platinum fungi, which is not a beautiful yet deadly form of fungus. It's actually a gentleman who does very, very cool.
But if he modeled fungus, it would probably look really
it would,
cool.
yeah, it would model fungus look like an NES system.
Yeah,
it would just be like
exactly.
backwards.
Yeah.
We have Rocket Punch Radio. They're going to be there, and yours truly, the Video Game Show podcast. So basically, you get all that other stuff as a bonus, and you're coming to see us. So it's worth the price, okay?
Don't forget the 1991 championship.
Well, that's obvious. I know that. We will be playing for a big grand prize. It is a ginormous, I forgot what it was, like a 50, 60 or something inch TV.
Yeah.
Big TV.
A PS4,
PS4.
Xbone,
Xbone?
or no, I'm sorry, no. PS4, Retron 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch
Really-
of games.
Really
Yeah.
cool setup, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about $1,000 worth of stuff. So I mean,
Yeah, and once you have a Retron 5, if you don't have anything else, you're covered. You're good. You're good to go.
Yeah.
So anyways, just so you know, ticket and events and also an event exclusive t-shirt is $30 or $25 in two canned goods as well. Vendor table prices are $50 if you're still wanting to do that. If you have any questions about it, the email address for that is admin@mogamecon.com. So, yeah, just so you know, MoGameCon coming up. It's going to be here before you know it, ladies and gentlemen. Just much like Christmas, this will sneak up on you. So,
And also, in addition to that, if you want to email the show, do so, vgsmailbox@gmail.com. We love to hear from you, and it's been a while since we gotten some emails, so...
send us some emails.
Yeah, we'd love to answer your questions and hear what you have to say, and yeah, so...
Email us and get famous on the interweb.
Actually, we have an email.
We have an email?
We have an email since we've last left, so I want to read this one real quick before we go any further.
Yeah.
This one comes from Chris. Hey, guys, I just recently started listening to your podcast a few months ago because his new job is very boring, and I decided to look for a video game-related podcast. I tried several bad ones before I found yours, and I'm glad I did. I like the variety of topics you guys cover, how laid-back and comical everyone seems to be. Heck, I even enjoyed your recent 100-hour-long rants about NES game prices on eBay. That being said, I look forward to future discussions with you guys, and I'm glad I found your podcast. I'm curious how you guys feel about cross-platform multiplayer, and do you see it going anywhere? Also, have you seen Total War, Warhammer, or Space Hulk Deathwing views and opinions? P.S. Rich, wherever your family matter is, I hope all goes well, and blessings to you. You guys rock, from a fan, Chris.
Well, thank you, Chris.
I'm not familiar with Total War, Warhammer, or Space Hulk Deathwing.
Nope.
Nope.
No,
idea.
unfortunately, I'm not.
On the plus side, that's probably one of the two guys that we haven't offended yet. So
Yeah, that's a plus side.
I'm working on you, Chris.
I'll look into those games and I'll try and come up with an opinion for you next episode. As far as cross-platform multiplayer goes,
I'm for it.
I'm cool if they can actually make it work.
It would be great. Seeing as how all the new systems are basically scaled down PCs now, there's no reason they couldn't do a cross-platform. The PS4 and the Xbox One are essentially the same system with slightly faster RAM, and the PS4 should be no problem at all for them to do it. However, licensing.
As Rocket League, I know, was the big one they were trying to get that pushed through. Is
right.
that pushed through yet?
No, and there was so much hype too. There was like, oh my god, crossplay, be able to play your buddies, and now it's like it fizzled out, and it's kind of it's got pushed to the side with all that, you know.
Well, another problem that I could see with that is so if one of the systems gets hacked out, everybody's going to flock to that one system to start running their hacks and everything else, and I could foresee that being a problem.
I can see it with the PS4 being a problem,
Right.
Because I've always had pretty good luck with Xbox Live, for the most part. What?
the Xbox fanboy over here.
But because I have
Call of Duty's perfectly fine.
I
Don't
have
worry
yet
about
to get
it.
hacked like some people over here, like Jacob, who got a millionth prestige on Black Ops 2 after playing the game. But no, I have yet to have any like major like I said, PS3 was totally torn down. But
It was equally terrible. when I tried.
you've had the bad experience there, so I'll give you that. But yeah,
By the way, if I could say real quick, thank you. I thank you very much for standing up for the Nintendo Wii U and other Nintendo products in my absence, because pretty much every time the Wii U or anything related to the Nintendo Modern comes up, Tweedledee and his buddy Chuck just ripped me a new one. And I remember very distinctly, I was listening to an episode, we were talking about games we were looking forward to, and I mentioned Star Fox.
Yeah.
And they both were like, screw you. And that it's
guys-
Nintendo who cares. Actually, that was exactly yours. It's Nintendo. Who cares?
You got your Star Fox. By the way, I just want to jump ahead a little bit. Did you get that game?
Yeah.
How is it?
I've
it's
heard
really
the
good.
control scheme is.
You have to get used to.
I'm just gonna say this.
Oh.
Jumping ahead even further, there's an article out that Nintendo is going to start licensing stuff out for movies. So we might get like an animated Mario Brothers movie or an animated Zelda movie.
Pixar Mario. Done.
I would much rather they concentrate on making a great game than a mediocre game that they've been supposedly working on for years and just doling that out in the name of Star Fox. I'm going to say this. I'm happy that it exists, but I should be excited that it exists. And I find myself going back to the original Star Fox.
Well, I've heard good and bad things about it. Most of the things have been good, except for the controls. They say the controls are absolutely
Nintendo's really bad about. I mean, they like to innovate,
but sometimes it's a little too much.
It's a forced innovation. Like that's cool if you can play like that. Perfect example, with them doing it right, was the newer Punch Out that came out for Wii.
Yeah.
You could use the control scheme with the Wiimote, but you could go back and then use it like a NES controller.
Yes.
That's the way they need to do anything that they try to
You
innovate
should
with.
be able to just
switch a control.
Right.
You should be able to just plug in your Pro Controller to your Wii U and play it like a Star Fox game, as opposed to the weirdness of using the gamepad in conjunction with your screen. It's bizarre.
I feel like it's really ham-fisted. It's like, we put this out there, you're going to use it, and you're going to like it, or maybe you won't.
And one of the things I've always said, and I think was one of the problems with the Final Fantasy series, was that overcomplication does not mean advancement.
No,
and
correct.
that's the problem here. You didn't need to advance the game any more than you need. You could have made basically Star Fox 2 for those people who've played that bootleg, and that up the graphic level and put it on the Wii U, and I think everyone would have been happy.
Oh, yeah.
But you had to overcomplicate it in the favor of, let's be advanced with our controls and advanced with our gameplay. That was grossly unnecessary and frankly ruined the experience partially for me.
For example, a game that's been selling like hotcakes is Shovel Knight, and I mean it's really
simplicity
scaled
at its best.
Exactly.
Now, I want to take a cheap shot because we're talking about the Wii U, and it's light too. Are you excited about the new Zelda game coming out on the Wii U? I'm sorry. No, you know what? You'll get it probably. You'll get it at the end of the Wii U, and then you'll get it in the NX, and then on the next Nintendo it'll be an HD remake.
Yeah.
Because Twilight Princess was a three-peat, right?
Yeah.
GameCube, Wii U.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I think
And if I think it was before you, when you brought up that story, Jake said it as literally I was thinking it during the last episode. The Wii U version is going to be the more sought after collectible.
Oh, yeah,
one,
I'm sure.
In the same way that the Twilight Princess on the GameCube is the more sought after.
Because everybody will want to get the newest stuff. And
Yeah. I feel like
I don't know what they're thinking. What are they thinking?
I honestly feel like now you really have nothing to look forward to on the Wii U.
Exactly. They're just kinda like-
there's a couple of niche things.
but no heavy hitter AAA titles.
There's no Metroid coming. There's no redemption for Star Fox at this point. There's no Zelda coming. There's no Mario coming. At this point in time, if you've played what you've played, I'm not saying run off and trade in your system because there's still a lot of things. But the sad thing is, at this point in time, that system's going to be remembered for 3 games: the Mario Kart, the Smash Brothers, and the Mario Maker. And that's the Wii's legacy, is going to be those 3 games. And yes, the other people say, all right, Pikmin 3 was good, or you'll have people that do like the Star Fox, but
I'm a system mover,
right. You have basically 3. Like I was going through and looking at the Wii library, and the Wii library, for as much as you might mock the Wii and call the Wii a non-gamer system, has a really good 50 or so games for it that are memorable playable.
Absolutely.
I would not deny that at all.
The Wii U, however, doesn't have that number. The Wii U has like the 3 big standouts, and then they have like 5 or 6 kind of lower end niche-y games. Like I'm a big fan of Lego City Underground. I love that game.
Right.
It's exclusive to Wii U, but nothing else is really jumping out at me at this moment to scream, you have to own this game if you own a Wii U. There's basically 3, and then there's like maybe 3 or 4 more based off your personal opinion, and that's it.
Honestly, Zombie U I thought was a really good game. It did come out as a digital release way later on for Xbox One, PS4,
Wasn't that
and
a
PC.
free game too, just recently?
I don't know.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Here's the weird thing.
It's on PS4.
Now wait 10 years. And then every website and their brother is going to do this revisionist history of the true hidden gems on the
Yeah,
Wii U. And it's be like, oh, well, Bayonetta 2 will get way more praise than it ever did today.
Yeah,
10
you can
years
see.
from now.
I mean, you can already tell the titles is going to be like that. And I think Zombie U will definitely be one. I mean,
Zombie U will get...
It had some really cool game mechanics. It was almost kind of like Dark Souls, the multiplayer on it, because you would have, like, your friends, like, dead characters in your game and stuff. I mean, it was pretty neat.
It was a neat game, but unfortunately, like the legacy of the Wii U, I think is getting tarnished by the fact that it's not getting its own Zelda game. And you have the HD version of
but
Wind Waker.
Those don't count at all.
No, you don't. It's a Nintendo system.
It's got 2 HD remakes on it, or Zelda remakes on it. Yeah,
it's frankly,
and they're old games.
Yeah,
it's a Nintendo system that will have no exclusive Zelda content,
and the desirability for that is going to be low.
Right. I mean, even the GameCube had Wind Waker.
If only.
And we had Twilight.
No, Skyward Sword.
Or Skyward Sword.
It's exclusive Skyward Sword. This is going to be the Nintendo system that walks away going, I didn't have an exclusive Zelda.
And
honestly, what they should have done is, what was that? The Zelda 30 guys that they shut down, the .com. They should have bought that from. Well, not even bought that. They just like take the rights of it and be like, for $5, here's the 3D version of Zelda. I'm
just gonna say this: for all its delays, that Zelda game better be like perfect. That better be a 10 out of 10 game for as much delays and nonsense that has come through with it.
Skyward Sword was delayed a lot too.
But you still had a Nintendo. You still had.
They got mixed reviews too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was delayed a lot, and then when it came out, they panned those controls.
Yeah. So again, them ham-fisting controls on you. I mean,
Nintendo, give them credit. They're innovative.
Yeah,
they're definitely that.
That's fine, but they should give us the option of choice.
Right.
I don't want to use motion controls. I want to sit down. And
relax.
You
have no idea how many times, because I don't even have my pad charged up ever. And to do the system updates when I turn on the Wii U, I have to plug the damn pad in just so I can do the updates. And it's like, I don't use this thing. I don't want to use this thing.
And can I just say, if anyone happens to have an ear to Nintendo, can you please make the integration of the Wii menu within your Wii U menu simpler? I don't need to go through 9 different steps when I want to go play Turf Masters. And that...
Wait,
on the Wii U,
the virtual,
you have to then go to a specialized Wii U menu or Wii menu to access Wii content.
Okay, because I was saying, I actually just I started using my Wii again, and I got Turf Masters on it. Well, but it's easier. You turn it on. There's the screen. Done.
Yeah, no. In Wii U, you have
a separate.
You have to go to the Wii menu. You then have to figure out where the hell you put that nunchuck. And that get that out and that go over. You then go magically back in time to Wii U menu time, and then you have to go in and select anything you bought in the Wii from there. You can't integrate it over to your Wii U top menu, which is dumb. Which is dumb. I should be able to turn my Wii U and go Turf Masters.
Side note: you have Turf Masters?
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Well, yeah, of course. You all got me addicted to it. I have it on.
Oh no, I bought it as well on the Wii.
I don't know. I have it on PSP and I have it on Wii.
I did buy something cool on the Wii store. I went randomly because I figured I'm never going to buy it. I bought Rondo of Blood.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
The Wii store is still awesome.
Yeah, the amount of titles on it.
I'm still worried that they're going to stop or they're going to get rid of the Wii Online. And then, we're going to miss some great games. There's Contra Rebirth. There was Castlevania Rebirth.
Yeah.
Wasn't Gradius? Was there a Gradius Rebirth?
Gradius version, yeah.
And those kind of games that once it's
once it's gone, it's gone.
Which is why I got the Rebirth. I have the Rondo of Blood because you won't be able to get
easiest
that
way to play Rondo of Blood. Otherwise
either the PSP or the Wii, and
it's still. Again, I don't want this to turn into a gripe on Nintendo session, but I do think it's stupid that my 3DS and my Wii U and my Wii, subsequently, are all tied together under my network ID, my Nintendo ID, which is now tied to the new version of their Rebo, whatever their club is for getting points and everything. I still think it's idiotic that if I put in points on my 3DS. And that, if I buy a $30 voucher, $35, by the way, weirdest denomination I ever forgot. If I buy a $35 voucher card and I put it on my 3DS, it's not on my Wii U or my Wii. I have to install it onto the one thing, and it's on the one thing. It doesn't transfer over to the others.
Well, that's when you download video games and stuff like that. I bought Final Fantasy VII on my PSP. I can also play it on my PS3,
Right.
and I can also play it on the Vita.
Yeah, you can't do that here.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Nintendo, it's like when you buy it on one system, that's it.
Nintendo is your grandfather on the internet. That's what it is.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, we are talking about the same company. I believe it was Satoru Iwata who said, I don't think people are really into playing games on the internet. And he said
Right.
this not in 1999. He said this in like 2009.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then if that was the case, then make some Zelda games. You know, you got a time not making those online games.
Yeah.
Make a damn Zelda game.
Yeah, Nintendo arguably has the best first-party software on the planet, but for gosh sakes, they're letting it slip.
They are letting it slip.
They're letting
very
it
much
slip,
so.
and it's getting depressing.
And this would have been the console generation to gain so much ground. With the Xbox One and the PS4 slowly taking off as they have been,
Right.
Nintendo could have got their stuff together and said, you know what, let's churn out some quality releases. Let's get a leg up and keep, because
Yeah,
the Wii destroyed 360s and PS3.
Yeah, I actually
software.
got Black Ops on the Wii U just because it's supposed to be the definitive version between the PS3
Mm-hmm.
Xbox. And
Oh,
it
Black Ops 2.
was it 2? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got it. I mean, it played. I mean, I was dominating online because, you know,
'Cause the
it was
people-
probably
the
all
kids on the
children,
Wii
yeah.
U, yeah.
But the way you had to do it to, like, even use, like, the voice chat was so awful. You had to plug it up to the pad, have the pad connected, and then you could use your Pro controller off to the side. So you've got your headphones and your mic plugged into the pad just sitting off to the side just so you can have...
It's weird how unuser-friendly the user-friendly
Right,
system
right.
is.
Okay,
It really
kids, here
is.
you go.
It's very bizarre how really unfriendly that whole system is, but, whatever. Sorry we got sidetracked on the Bash Nintendo topic, but
There's my gripe session. There you go.
I do want to talk about something that has been talked about a lot on the Pat Contry and Ian Furson's podcast, the Completely Unnecessary podcast.
Great podcast, too.
Great podcast. If you don't listen to it, I highly recommend checking them out. Please listen to us both.
Maybe they'll invite us.
Yeah, I want to say they've been talking about a guy by the name of Tim Atwood, who I want to acknowledge on this show. Do you know about this
A
situation?
little bit. So go ahead and...
All right, so for those of you who don't know, Tim Atwood is a Nintendo collector. He's been a Nintendo collector for a very, very long time. And I don't mean like he had revisionist moments in the N64
Right,
era.
he's not the fly-by-night collector.
Right.
He just got into it 2 years
He
ago.
was, he wasn't even the guy that he wasn't even the guy who literally got into it during the Funko Land closing down days.
Right.
He is a collector of Nintendo back when Nintendo was new. So it turned out, and how people kind of heard his name the first time was, he was the guy who claimed he owned a box of Stadium events. And what I mean by that is not that he owned a copy of the game in the box. I mean, he had a sealed shipping box that contained 6 sealed Stadium events. Arguably one of the most sought-after video games in any system. And it turned out that he did legitimately have this box. And so this seemingly pissed off a lot of people on Nintendo Age, who I've never really been there, but evidently a good section of the people on Nintendo Age are hardcore sealed collector types who are trying to basically be like market cornerers. They're trying to essentially control the price.
Basically, if you have a username on Nintendo Age, more than likely...
I was gonna say, the few times I've gotten on Nintendo Age,
It's full of just total asshats.
If you post something and you're not a regular, here comes the torches and pitchforks. They're after you.
Yeah,
It's just
it's very much it's not like Atari Age where everyone is seemingly cool and accepts everyone.
Right.
And Nintendo Age is like basically a clique.
very elitist jerk. Like, I want to use strong
oh,
language.
you didn't know that had the other Nintendo seal?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The steam goes left, then right. Peasant.
Fool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Those kinds of people. So, and evidently, a lot of people in Nintendo Age took umbrage with Mr. Atwood claiming to have these games. Well, as it turns out, Tim Atwood got kind of frustrated, and he's also been kind of frustrated with the whole collector's market in general. Now it's basically controlled by a few, a bunch of elitists.
Right.
That it's outrageous prices, that sort of thing. That people who really want these games and will value them, are not just like collecting and speculating on that kind of thing.
Right.
So it turns out Mr. Atwood has been collecting for a very long time, and by a long time, He has boxes upon boxes of sealed games that he got from back in the day.
Yeah, it was like 12 Chubby Cherubs or something like that.
Yeah, sealed in box, like 12...
Bonk's Adventure, too.
12 Box Adventures. I know these numbers aren't exactly right, but he's got multiple box copies of Little Samson, of Flintstones Dinosaur Peak. He's got boxes upon boxes of everything. So, of course, this pisses off a lot of these Nintendo Age people, and apparently he ended up getting banned from Nintendo Age.
Yeah,
Go figure.
Which is hilarious.
Which now they're becoming kind of bringing to light the kind of people that are on that site.
Right. Even though I hear the guy who runs the site's actually a pretty good person, but
Right.
apparently a lot of the moderators
Admins,
are douchebags. But the reason I bring it up is because apparently he's been doing auctions on eBay where he's been selling these box copies for reasonable prices. He's not putting absurd reserves on them or whatever. He's letting the market, like the people bidding on it, dictate. He's been doing a lot of private sales with people. Like somebody talked about how he got into contact with them and he ended up getting a copy of Kirby's Adventure sealed for free. Somebody got a Flintstones Dinosaur Peak for $1.
Yeah,
like
that was my
basically
favorite.
Tim Atwood is like at this point really kind of controlling the market
And it's really funny because that is why he got banned, essentially, is because
He was stepping on.
Yeah, he's giving games out to people that aren't just there to make a profit on it.
Right.
Yes.
Who aren't going to hold these games hostage, who are going to actually enjoy these games. I think that's awesome. And people we talked about, and we actually brought this up before, we didn't really name Tim Atwood in it when we talked about the show, but, could a value of a game drastically change because of this discovery? In this case, yes. I mean, what a sealed copy of a lot of these games would go for before are vastly different when you got a guy who's literally going, really, I got 18 of them. You want to buy it for
And
half the value? Cool.
Pat Contry brought up a great point when he was talking about that, too. The niche group of people that are willing to pay thousands of dollars for a game is much smaller than you would think. I mean, if you give out a few copies, that's definitely going to hurt the market because that's taking those guys out. I would never pay $10,000 for anything.
Right. I was going to say, the three of us sitting here at this table, there's a fourth person who's singing in the background who won't be identified. But, okay, if somebody walked in right now and said, I've got Steam events right here, I'll sell it to you for $2,000. Are you in?
$2,000 for a stadium events?
Yeah. Not sealed, just a regular plain Jane Steam events with some...
And you can't resell it.
You can't resell
I don't
it.
want it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't
No
want
way.
It. You don't want it. You don't want it, and you're going for a complete collection. I don't want it. I mean, that's the thing. It's
$2,000. I could do. I could buy a lot of cheeseburgers. I could buy a lot of laundry soap.
I like the first thing is food.
Yeah, because it's the basic human necessity.
Fine.
We know somebody right now who has a stadium events on them and that in their collection right now. Now, I'm not going to get any specific details, but I was just thinking to myself the other day, if I was that person and that sort of thing, I would be the guy who'd be like, look, want the game? I want some games. Do I necessarily want like $7,000 worth of games for this thing? No. But there's a few key games I would like for this thing, in that you get me a copy of, Little Samson, a copy of Bonk's Adventure, a couple of these things, like a couple of $1,000 worth of games. I'll trade you, because that doesn't mean that much to me. I don't need to make 10 grand or whatever.
Yeah.
On it, on this game. But
I'm the devil over here. If that game wound up in my mailbox, I'd be like, all right, $8,000, buy it now. Bye.
Yeah.
If I wound up with that's just because I'm a terrible person. But I could never fathom, like, even paying $100 for a game. It's just like, whoo.
There's two games in here right now that I've been looking for years. There are two games in the store right now.
What?
One's $100, the Hagane that you got for the Super Famicom, which is $100 behind the counter.
Oh, okay.
For the Super Famicom. And Pocky and Rocky, which was $154.99. Wouldn't buy either one of those. Could I have bought one of those today? Yeah, I could have bought both of them today, but I didn't.
But you would you would have one, just one. I don't know. You got a lot of games today.
Yeah.
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 Or just getting one.
Well, exactly. Screw that noise. And that, like, to me, again, I don't go over $100 on a game. That's just me.
Yeah.
I did it one time, and it was because a lot of it was covered on a trade. That's a little different. But I would never out of pocket $100 for a game, over $100 for a single game.
Yeah,
that's just my personal.
And to kind of derail from that, something I've been seeing is just the opposite of what you think would happen. So a thing I've been noticing is there's all these sellers on eBay selling, reproductions and stuff. Mm-hmm. And what I've been seeing here lately is people actually getting decent prices at stores that really don't know what they have. I guess they go on eBay, they price it. Oh, this is $50 when it's more like a $500 game because all they do is a quick eBay search and, oh, it's going for $50 and they don't notice reproduction. They don't know what they're looking
Right.
at. So I've been seeing people getting decent deals like that, which is pretty funny, honestly.
I will tell you this: I was recently in a half price books location, and I went in there and they had 6 3DO games in their collector's case, and they had them marked $5 each.
Oh, wow.
$4.99. They were complete in box, all stuff. And I'm like, and I went in there and said, I want to get those 3DO games. And the guy goes, oh, these are games? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, for what system? I go, the 3DO. And I go, he's like, is that like a PlayStation? I go, no, it's a system. He goes, oh.
Oh,
yeah, I don't know anything about this. I go, oh yeah, I mean, I don't know. He goes, yeah, I priced
He didn't try to
these-
reprice them then.
No,
did
he had, no. He goes,
Well,
I priced.
anyways, though-
He goes, I priced them. I have no idea what the hell they are.
He goes,
And
What,
no
what
one else
were
in the
they, just
store-
out of curiosity?
Hell, the Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah,
thriller.
no, that's a decent game.
The Horde, good
Oh,
Kirk
yeah.
Cameron.
yeah.
Slam and Jam, the basketball game.
Scottie Pippen or whatever. Slam City
Oh,
or whatever.
not to be confused with the movie.
No. Did you watch that earlier in a YouTube video I posted? Wing Commander 3.
Oh, also good, yeah.
I don't remember what the other two. Oh, Supreme Commander. And I don't remember what the sixth.
Man,
there was a
those
fifth
are
one. I
really
don't remember what
solid
the one.
games.
Yeah,
I mean,
$5 each.
you know, it could have been like Pebble Beach Golf
Right.
or something.
They had no clue. But then there was a Smash Brothers on the N64 there for $79.99.
Right.
I'm like, okay, wow. I don't
Well,
even
we know
where-
what that is, so yeah.
I literally think it's right. I think what you're saying is right. eBay, this
Yep.
game, oh, it must be $79. That happens to be the first price they see on eBay.
Or
And
they
honestly,
they just
I-
see that Nintendo seal.
Honestly, I don't feel bad for getting a deal when they do that because
It's also a
you know
retail
they
store.
already paid
Yep.
peanuts for it initially anyway.
Right.
Yeah, he already said it. It's a retail store. I don't.
Yeah.
When it comes to that,
Ripping off an
I-
individual and they don't know what they have.
I
it's another story, but it's like if it's a retail store, I'm sorry, I'm not taking that much sympathy for the fact you didn't do your homework.
I kind
You have
of
people that are getting paid to do that
a
homework.
job.
yeah, I got a really good deal on what was it Bomberman Second Attack. I paid $15 for it. They had it priced at the Bomberman 64.
Right,
That's totally
but you
what happened
know
there.
the fact that they gave that person the value of the Bomberman
Right,
64. You know the person, whoever got those 3 games gave to them, did not get like $40 a piece. They got
No,
like
absolutely.
$1, and I guarantee you, first of all, for whoever's sticking their games to half price books, that's clearly a parent cleaning out an attic.
Right.
That's
and
not a
I
gamer.
do feel bad for the kids because that's probably one of those situations where you go home like, oh, yeah, I want to pick up my collection. Oh, you did what with all
Or,
my stuff?
hey, I just found out that game I had was worth like $8,000, and you just took it to half price books. I'm gonna come home and murder you. Like, that's what's gonna happen.
I got a beautiful used sweater for it, though.
I got Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone on hardback.
I got the first print edition of the first Game of Thrones book.
I got Bayonetta for $100.
Somebody's just got Bayonetta too. No, it's a brand new copy.
Yeah.
New in box. Where's the other game? Oh shoot!
Oh, but yeah,
So, the podcast, like you were saying. So yeah, it's people like Nintendo Age on there. Ass hats,
right.
Not all of them.
I think I speak for all of us. None of us here are value collectors. We're collectors because we like these games.
Right.
We want to play these games. Because I get often asked a lot, which is, if the market crashed tomorrow, how would I feel about it? And to me, I'm like, I would welcome a
Right,
market
because
crash
I could get my stuff that I
you
want.
could go get your next
for nothing,
paycheck.
yeah.
And be like, well, I'm gonna get everything I wanted.
Right, exactly. Like, look, do I have expensive games in my collection? Sure. I mean, the most expensive thing I have in my collection right now is Bucky O'Hare,
Yeah.
which is going up,
Which is
and up
actually
and
going up really fast, though.
Yeah, which all of a sudden now is like it went from a $90 game six
It's like
months
almost
ago.
200, isn't it?
It's almost hitting 200 all of a sudden out of nowhere. And do I like that game more because all of a sudden, like, I know what I paid for it. I got a wonderful deal for
because
it.
you've been looking for that game forever.
I would not trade that game right now, or any time for that matter. I love that game. I love playing that game.
Yeah.
It's in my collection. If it all of a sudden dropped down to $1 game tomorrow, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's
Because
still
you wanted it
I
to
want to play
play.
that game, right? Like, if the market crashed tomorrow, you're going to see the difference between a genuine collector and an actual like profiteer collector.
Oh, absolutely.
And now, granted, it would suck if you spent like $200 on a copy of Earthbound like 6 months ago, and all of a sudden it's $20. Okay, that blows. That investment you put into it, that does suck, and I feel sorry for you. But at the same time, though, was it about owning that because it was high value, or was it about owning it because you wanted to
Because
play
when
it?
you pay for it, you
Once-
obviously wanted to pay for it because you wanted to play it.
Right.
I'm
Right.
buying this game because I want to play it. So if it goes to a nickel tomorrow, I just wanted to play it. I don't care.
Right. Once again, set some standards for yourself. What you're going to pay for something. I mean, that's always an out. Like if you pay $10,000 for something, then they find like a truckload of them, and it goes to nothing. I mean, yeah.
Right. I mean, anyone who collected comic books in the
Yeah,
90s
yeah,
knows what
like-
this is about.
I think I paid $70 for my what was it, Contra Force. And I mean, if they found like a truckload of them and it went down to $5, that's a $65 loss. I can live with that. You
Right,
know,
exactly.
I mean,
Not a
You're not the
$10,000.
people.
Yeah.
The people who are crying are the ones who are sitting on multiple copies of a game because they thought in 5 years or whatever I'm going to sell these.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
going to
these are the people
down
that are-
payment a
they're-
house or a car on.
They're only in the hobby for the profits.
Right.
Which
And you
you're
see that-
human garbage.
you see that all the time, and it's terrible.
right.
Yeah, if my copy of Shanghai True Valor tomorrow drops from $6 to $3, I'm out. I'm out, and I'm not for it.
Oh, that's made by Sunsoft.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man,
how did I pass that up?
they did make that Sunman game. You know.
Yeah, it's a Mahjong game. I love Mahjong. Oh, I mean, Chuck Norris's whatever on the Atari 2600 there could be $1 tomorrow. Buy it for $1. Not paying the price it's marked. When is that marked?
25.
Screw that. I'll buy it when the market crashes on Atari.
So I want to talk about this because you brought it. Or I think you brought this up earlier in the week, and I want to talk about it real quick because I'm excited about it. If it really does happen, Shenmue remakes 1 and
Yeah.
2 HD Shenmue remakes.
It should. I mean,
Well, it would be an obvious way to print money.
All right.
okay?
So, what do you guys foresee? I see an emulation sort of deal happening.
What do you mean?
Instead of like truly remaking it, going through the assets and stuff, I see it just being an upscale.
That's fine.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if that's
Because then you
know,
could
that's
cram
fine.
you could cram both those games on one Blu-ray. You can also do that disc that was with Shenmue 2. That because there's a disc that came with it was like Shenmue 1 the movie.
Yeah, which is ridiculous.
And
but,
also on Shenmue 1, after you beat the game, you could there was the footage from the Saturn version, which is really cool in my opinion.
yeah.
They tried to put that game on the
Well,
Saturn.
he talked about almost finishing it, like whenever,
What,
which would be
Suzuki?
hilarious.
Yeah. Because I was just like, can you imagine Shenmue on the Saturn?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would have been atrocious. But no, I'm very, very, very excited. Shenmue is one of my favorite series of all time. With one of the best stories. It's slower gameplay. You either love that game or you hate it. To each their own. But I love that game. I love the sound. I love the music. Everything about that game is like art to me.
What I was going to bring up is I love the breakneck effect that it had when Shenmue 3 was coming out. Wasn't Shenmue 2 for
2
Xbox
used to be
going
like
for
a
like
$10, $15, $20 at the most game, I think.
At the most.
And then it shot up to like 50 or 60, and then 1 shot up to like 60 or 70.
Yeah, I mean it's scaled way back down.
Oh,
now,
no,
now I think it's like
back
20,
down to
30.
normal, 20
yeah.
and 30.
Well,
But
you need to do something here because you're thinking about the fact that the game is being made. It was kickstarted. It was and all that
Very
stuff.
successfully
very
kickstarted.
successfully kickstarted. Sony's backing up with money, but now Sony's not stupid. Sony realizes that look, for a lot of people, this is an exciting thing to people who played Shenmue 1 and 2. But there's a whole generation of gamers out there who have no idea what this is.
True, very true.
And you need to get them excited for it if you want this to be a true blockbuster success.
and
So that's why you got to reissue that 1 and 2. I'm excited for the fact that they're not just going, okay, we're going to put 1 and 2 on the PlayStation storefront. They're actually going to remaster them. Hopefully they do a physical. Maybe they won't. Maybe let's do a remastered
I think
version.
a physical.
I think a physical.
Limited run game versions. Come on,
Oh,
let's
God.
do it.
I would be slicing and dicing people for that
Oh my gosh,
game.
we're going to play that on my Vita.
Sold out
would be
within
awesome.
10 seconds.
Go.
Telling you.
But I Shenmue, if you haven't played it and you maybe been on the fence about it, everyone should give it a try. And you might not like it. It's like I said, it's incredibly slower paced.
you can play a game within the game.
Yep, you can play a couple of games in
Yeah.
the game, but the fact it's a quirky it's a big budget quirky Japanese title at its best.
Now, can I just say real quick before we move on to the other part, because there was another game announced during that time frame too. I think same day that I got even more excited about. Before we get to that point, you weren't here for this originally, but I find it funny how we went from kind of lukewarm feelings about it to becoming completely in over our heads. Yes, sir, for limited run games, this concept of gaming.
Well, I remember that episode. I remember we were saying I'm not against limited run games. I'm against the people that just want to buy them and turn around because if they made a game that I really wanted, because I remember you and I were discussing Saturday Morning RPG. We both missed out on it. I think we both tried.
I got it.
Or I missed out on it, but you were still like, well, that's ridiculous because as soon as you noticed it, there were people on eBay right away.
Right.
They were selling copies. Yeah, and like I was looking to get Breach and Clear, which was the first Vita game they did on that.
See, I wasn't
It's like
interested in that, but
it's like $96, which I'm not going to spend on that game. I'm sorry.
But as soon as I heard about Abe's Odyssey or whatever the new and tasty, I was very excited. I love those series. I have them all. I got the 2 on PlayStation. I got the 2 on the OG Xbox. I wanted to get this one. I didn't want it to be digital. I got it. I got up in the morning. I set my alarm. I sat there on my phone next to the router, so I had the strongest connection. I'm just sitting there, refresh, and all of a sudden, for sale, buy, done.
Yeah.
And then the early morning shipments sold out like that.
Yeah. It seems like the evening ones are always
the evening ones. The PS Vita sold out fast in the evening. They had
7
PS4 left over a little bit actually. It sold out though by the end of the night.
No, the next
it was the
morning
next
they had
day.
copies.
Oh, the next day it was? Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's.
But they had a 5,000 run on the PS4, whereas the Vita had 2,500.
Right.
Which is,
That's not a lot of copies. 2,500 copies.
People
of a
are
game
more
is not
after
a
a Vita collection than they would be a
Well, that's
PS4.
that's
Well,
because
the
that
Vita-
Vita collection is gonna be
The
great.
Vita, the Vita has gone from the ill-gotten bad idea of Sony into
a collector's niche of just weird,
awesome. Like, if you're into Japanese games, holy crap, the Vita is like
the Vita is your Neo Geo Wonder or whatever it is pocket
Wonder Swan?
Wonder
Wonder
Swan.
Swan.
No, it's the Engage for me because I love my Engage games.
but it's weird.
Me and that one other guy.
The weirdest, the craziest thing is it's easy to get Vita. Like you can get Vita systems. Here's what's hard to get on a Vita. It's impossible to find a damn memory card for the thing.
Yeah, those
Oh,
proprietary.
yeah,
stupid
that are.
cards.
I mean, I'm surprised nobody has hacked it out so that you can use just like a standard micro SD. Actually, that might be something to look into
or an
at this
adapter
point.
for
Right, exactly.
I think the problem is the Vita is almost too.
Yeah, they did that for the
I think the
PSP.
proprietary memory of a card of a Vita is so small that I'm not even sure if you could do an adapter.
Yeah.
I think Sony saw people doing that with the
PSP.
the PSP with
Yeah.
the Pro Card Duo.
I was gonna
2
say,
or
I think
whatever.
I have 64 gigs on my PSP. Or
Yeah, and I'm
something.
pretty confident they couldn't. I'm pretty confident that little thing is so small that you couldn't even do an SD adapter or a micro SD adapter.
Yeah, I don't know.
Now, what are you super excited about, Rich?
I'm excited that Natsume is going to do Wild Guns Reborn.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't even hear this, actually.
Yes,
Really?
They are doing a late to the party sequel to Wild Guns,
Interesting.
and I loved Wild
To
Guns.
what system?
They haven't announced that yet.
If it's digital only,
It'll be
will-
digital only. Well, just like they announced.
Well, if it's digital only, limited run games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They've only done Sony so far, and supposedly it's because Sony's the only one that'll really do like a limited run.
But wait, what was the talk about them doing Fatal Frame?
That's
that
what
just
people
talk?
want. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what people have been really.
Well, that-
I thought they
pushing for.
tweeted about it.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'd
See,
have
I would
to
love
look
it
it
if
up
they
again.
did that with the Monster Boy or the Monster Wonder Boy and Monster World or whatever, because they were doing that one on the PS4, and it's gonna be it's gonna be digital. But I
Well,
would love-
with every successful campaign they have, they make more money than they can reach out to companies and
Right.
make things happen and that very quickly. And I know there's a new game for the Vita called Salt and Sanctuary. It's on the PlayStation Network. It's also coming out for
it's a Dark Souls.
It's like a Dark Souls 2D platformer kind of game. I know people are already screaming at them, get that. People
Yeah,
want a physical copy of it, and that I think with every successful campaign they have, they can lobby to make it happen.
Sony's just been on point this generation. Like, I mean, everything else is just kind of there.
Falling to the wayside.
Yeah.
Side note, Dark Souls mentioning, I think they just finished out today or yesterday the Kickstarter board game.
Really?
Oh, is that finally over?
That is over, and I want to pull
Tell
it
me
up.
it's like Monopoly.
No, I mean, it's gonna
You
be
have died. Go to Star.
Dark Souls.
Go to the graveyard.
Yeah.
You're only visiting the graveyard. If you
Oh,
go
that's
in
right.
here.
Oh, you're hollow.
Dark Souls board game.
Oh, I got a resurrection card.
Yep.
Dark Souls board game Kickstarter ends with $5 million plus in funding.
I had no idea that even existed.
I tell you this.
I bet it'll go up in price like stupid
Its
high.
goal was $70,000. They got $5 million.
Yeah. And that's such a game that started out as such a niche like group of people playing
I'll
it.
tell you
I
what,
remember when I got it, like I got it for like $20 used at GameStop because I heard somebody like on IGN like, "Oh, this is a really good game. You need to try it out."
I'll tell you this: if you think video game collectors are ravenous, board game collectors are like even more like intense.
Can only
Yeah.
imagine.
I'm not. I was gonna say insane, but it's intense. Like they are. Like hopefully, next time we do the Mo Game Con, we can do it in a large area, incorporate tabletop gaming. In which case, then that's gonna be an insane party.
Yeah, well, we've actually been playing Hero Quest, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a good time.
Is that the one that's like marketed in the Nintendo? It looks like a Nintendo cover.
No,
There's
Hero
some
Quest
board-
is really old.
There's
I
some,
mean, we're
there's
talking
some
like
okay. There's some board game I'm seeing that a lot nowadays. That's like it looks like the box looks like it. It's not shaped like it, but it's designed to look like an old school Nintendo game controller. It's like a dungeon crawler.
Oh no,
game.
this is an old game, but
Okay.
we've been playing it, and my only problem with board games is I'm so used to playing video games that while we're playing this, I was like, wow, this reminds me a lot of playing Diablo. Do you guys want to go home and play Diablo? This is like rolling dice. Oh my gosh, counting.
Which you've never really mastered, have you?
I know.
1, 7, 7, 1, 4,
Come
10.
on, I'm from Missouri.
You're from Pacific, Missouri, okay?
No, I reside in Pacific. I am from Buford. That's where the pure
You need to learn how
class
to
comes from.
backpedal.
Well,
I've got my nose up in the air. I've come from Buford.
Pinky's out.
you didn't fall for the fact that Vanilla Ice was going to play Ted Drews, did you?
No, I did not.
Okay,
I
just
did
making
not.
sure. Just making sure.
No.
So let's go back to Nintendo for a minute. By the way, there was also the same time frame that Wild Guns came out. The news about that and the news about Shenmue Remastered. There's also apparently a new Samurai Showdown that's being rumored to be coming out in 2017 too. So didn't know they needed that, but I'll be interested in seeing what it turns out to be.
Yeah.
Going back to Nintendo for a minute, another rumor came out. NX might be going cartridge based.
Oh, no. No, that's a heavy rumor right there.
Well, hold on. And I've
holding
heard.
on.
Well, I heard about this, and this has been 2-3 years ago, and they might already had the idea for this, like in the cooker, because we still don't know what it's truly gonna be yet,
No.
right? So the rumor was a couple years, 2-3 years ago, that the NX was going to be a portable system, but then it would also have a dock, so you could dock it, and then you would actually get like more. We're not talking about docking, but anyway, it would get basically be more powerful when you plugged it into the word that I'm not using.
Will you dock it?
Yes. And if you don't know what docking is, a quick
Go
Google search.
Google!
Safe search on! Safe search on!
Nah, turn it off. Don't be a pussy.
Also, cream pies are delicious.
I always that old meme of the grandma with her glasses go pulling up like, "Oh, cream pie sounds delicious." That's one of my favorite
Safe
pictures.
search on.
So, anyways, yeah.
Woo, here's the question: what do you define as a cartridge?
See, I think that,
Physically, cartridge. I don't know.
Right.
Just holding a copy of Mr. Pepper 2.
Pepper two.
that's where I was going with that, with being a handheld. If they do a cartridge, I could see it being like a 3DS game.
Right, is that a cartridge?
Eh.
See, I call that a card. I don't even call that a cartridge.
See,
Yeah.
that's where. Yeah, I agree because it's a game card. It's a,
Can we say? I mean, I guess I guess it would be more.
So I guess
a better
technically-
point would be this. It may not necessarily be a cartridge, but it's going to be more of a solid state
Right.
thing. Whether it's like a card like a Vita card or a card like a 3DS
because I
card.
Okay.
definitely.
It's not going to be optical like a CD or a DVD or a Blu-ray
Oh,
or even
okay.
where the hell the GameCubes were. It's going to be something solid state.
Now, can I play devil's advocate for a second?
Absolutely.
TurboGrafx 16.
That's a card.
It's a card.
They
Okay.
even called those cards. Even the Master
it's a
System.
Hue- it's a
okay,
Hue
okay.
card.
They were Hue. Yeah, thank you.
But it's solid state.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess technically all of them are.
They're all. I mean, yeah, unless you're dumping a ROM off an emulator card, which would be a little bizarre,
Right.
Because that would almost make it a clone system rather than actually. That'd be a weird ass thing if the cartridge dumped a ROM, and that's how you played it. That'd be very odd. That is a manageable, cheap technology,
Yeah, yeah.
but. I don't know. We've never seen a first party really do that. I mean, yeah, you do installs on like Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but you still need the actual disc to run the game. And
Right.
But
Case in point, Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think people who are getting these visions of sugar plums dancing your heads, but instead of sugar plums, they're NES
Yeah,
cards.
I mean, just look
that's
at...
not what they're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, because, and they've said this, time and time again.
First of all, you ever seen a Superboy? That's how obnoxiously sized the NX would have to be if it was a true cartridge-based system.
Yeah, and, I mean, look at production costs. I mean, a Blu-ray versus, that's why they stopped it in the first place.
And I'm going to play devil advocate's friend, Bob. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing a Bob Friedel. Well, that's what's killing the industry. No,
and he listens to this on his way to work.
I know.
He just
Hi,
crashed.
Bob.
He just crashed.
By the way, if you need further insights on Mo Game Con, you can meet Bob.
Yeah.
but no, I think it'll be disc-based. I think there's no way in hell it's going to be any sort of cards, because I think that just the space of the game is not going to be, unless it's a decent, if it's like a card like this or something,
Yeah,
the bigger size.
But look at the power of what a Vita card can do. I mean, you can make. I mean, the technology to be smaller yet more powerful is definitely there. I mean, you have terabyte-sized thumb drives that are out now. I mean, I know it's at the same level of technology, but
I still think it's going to be Blu-ray.
Yeah.
But how are you going to make that portable, though?
It's Nintendo. They'll figure out there'll be a small horse inside the thing running at full speed all the time to power the...
Do you realize... Okay, look. The closest thing we've had to optical portable was the PSP.
Correct.
I don't think they're going to go a UMD route.
No, God.
I mean, maybe they still have the maybe they figured out a way to make GameCube discs
tomorrow on the gaming news.
Yeah.
But
Nintendo buys 4 billion UMDs from Sony.
could you imagine? I mean, basically, what it would essentially look like as a handheld would look like a Turbo Express, but the back end would be like a Sega CDX taped to it.
Yeah,
Like, what it would look like.
You'd be holding a CDX,
And if you jiggled it a little too much, the game would skip. Is essentially what the NX would turn into.
I'm winning.
This sounds like a challenge for me of something to make.
Oh, every time I see a broken anything online, I'm like, I should tell Jake about this.
Yes.
Like, Jake's gonna make some weird bastard.
Oh, can we please use this as a segue?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Jake the Tinker.
Oh yeah.
He has
Boy,
risen.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Do
man.
we need to talk about something here real quick? I'm just gonna let you tell the story.
Okay, well, first of all, this is going to be a very long rant, so we might want to use a timestamp to get past this. But, so...
Absolutely not. We've become a rant show.
Yeah, well, true enough. Fair enough.
First of all, let's preface this a little bit here.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Friedel, among many talents you have, one of the things you have you've had a talent for.
Matt laughs.
Shut up. You have a talent for making broken systems working again.
Right.
I was one of your first customers. You
Yep.
made my Turbo Express
Yeah,
work.
since I've been working here, yeah.
And it's a magical thing, but you've pretty much become the guy who literally goes and sees someone putting up some $200 system on eBay for $20 because you're like, it don't work, it's for parts, and you're like, bull crap, it don't
Yeah.
work, and you fix them.
Yeah, I mean, generally what you'll see, especially on eBay, and there's ways to tell if the people know what they're selling and stuff. Basically, you'll see something for sale on eBay, and it's like, oh, it's, okay, for example, a Super Nintendo Mini, or the second run Super Nintendo, there's no power light on them. If you have a dirty cartridge in there, nothing's going to display on the screen.
Okay.
So now, knowing that, you'll see the other items they'll have for sale. And it'll be like kitchen supplies or like iPhone cover or something like that.
Right.
These people don't know how to test things
Someone
properly.
bought a storage unit of crap, and now they're just piecing it out. And
Exactly.
because it didn't plug in and work, they don't get it. They just assume, okay, broken.
Exactly. So, and that's a notorious one that you can get. You can just clean the cartridge for it. You've got a working system.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, that's the kind of stuff I'll buy up. And then other ones that are broken too, like TurboGrafx 16. That's another one. A lot of times the RF ports will go out on them. Well, then you can AV mod it, or there's even cables you can just plug into the back of it now that people have been making. So, that's the kind of stuff I pick up. I'll work on it, fix it, make a couple bucks. Well, anyway, I bought a couple Atari Jaguars, and I've repaired several of those.
Now, I have to ask real quick. Have you ever repaired an Atari Jaguar CD unit?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
Okay, credentials speak for
yes.
yourself. You can say anything.
Yeah, I've watched
you make that piece of shit work, you can do anything.
I've watched the AVGN episode, and they said they took it to a guy where
from Richard, between the big flaming red FU and the thing crawling at me, I believe this has become sentient.
They said he even went to a guy, and they actually soldered from each pin to the thing to try to get it to work, and it would. But the one a buddy of mine bought, we actually I scrubbed up the pin connectors and just did some alcohol on the old optical drive or the laser lens, and it was good to go. I mean, but anything you need to know this: the Jaguar, if you've not used the Jaguar, is a very, very finicky system, and I mean, to say the least. Without calling it a big pile of crap, it's a finicky system. And so, like, with the CD-ROM on that, we had to, and not to be dirty, we had to shove it in and out several times. And
which you had to dock the thing.
Yes, we had to dock it multiple times. Yes, multiple times before it was happy. But so anyway, yeah, we got it working. But so anyway, I bought a lot of
this piece of crap just growling me.
Yeah, red screen. Ah, but you won't know the pain unless you truly have one. But so anyway,
you can play your copy of Cyberborg.
Yes. Where did you learn to fly? So I bought these two Jaguars. I got them off eBay, broken or whatever. Anyway, I got them. They were actually fine. I guess the guy didn't. I don't know what. I'm sorry. I bought them untested.
Okay.
And so anyway, I bought them. They're perfectly fine. So I kept one. I think I AV modded it, and then the other one I threw up on eBay. And I put like a best offer because I'll work with people. And anyway, this guy offers me, I think, like $120. And so I accept it. I ship it out to the guy, and something like, I don't know, probably almost like 30 days goes by. And then I get this return request. And the guy's like, yeah, nothing's coming up on the screen. I want a refund, and then I'll ship it back. And, I'm like, okay, well, knowing the problems these things have, even though I put it in the description, if you plug the wrong power supply into it, so the polarity needs to be center negative on it, but if you put center positive, it'll actually blow out the voltage regulator on it. So that's what I assume happened. Or the guy just had a dirty cart, because dirty carts won't work in there at all, and it won't even turn on without it.
Or the thing became sentient and didn't want to work.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's like, there's probably a couple good games on there. I mean, that weren't No, that's not true.
No.
Get on with it!
Oh, Tempest.
Tempest. Yeah, Tempest.
And the Doom. Port of Doom is good.
Yeah, but yeah, anyway, there's better versions on other consoles of the game.
Let's just put it this way. If you want to buy an Atari product, a Jaguar might not want to be the number one on your list.
Yeah. It would be one you would buy to collect for, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was like, okay, I'll do the return, even though this guy basically was saying, oh yeah, but before that happened, he said he took it to a repair place, and they would have to replace the entire motherboard. You don't replace the entire motherboard to a retro console. So already,
is that a piece of garbage? You have a motherboard, so to speak.
Right. So I'm like, he's like, yeah, you can just give me $90 back. And like, I was like, no, just send it back. I paid for the return label, which was like, $10 or whatever. So anyway, I do get it. And already I'm thinking, man, this is weird that this guy is just saying like, it's not outputting video and stuff, whatever. And so already I was kind of suspicious. So I look at how I posted it, and I was like, okay, so I got a serial number and everything else. So, we'll see what happens. So I get it. Worst packaging job ever. It just comes in like your standard USPS box, but there's no padding. It's just rumbling around and they're free. I mean, the guy didn't stick, didn't even bother newspaper, just so it wouldn't like be flopping
That's one of those
around.
insulting points where you throw in one packing peanut, which basically says, no, I'm smart enough to know what packing is, but I don't give a crap.
Right,
So.
yeah. So, whatever. So I open it up, and the first thing that happens is the top cover starts coming off of the console. I was like, So I flip it over. There's no screws in it. There's no screws for the cartridge port either, which is soldered on, by the way. So I don't even know why they unscrewed. I don't know. I have a feeling he was wanting to do a board swap on this, but was not intelligent enough. I don't know. So I flip it over, and the serial sticker is gone. Like, you see the sticker residue on it. I mean, for just that to be gone and everything else is fine, obviously suspect. So I knew this what had happened.
So he had a broken one.
Yeah.
Presumably. And decided, well, I'm going to get this one from this guy. I'm going to say, here's your broken one back. It didn't work, so I'm going to get my money refunded. Basically, I'm just going to trade a broken one for a working one.
And then instantly when I knew it, well, I already knew at this point that's what happened. But then I look at the box that he sends me. He owns a game store.
Oh!
So, yeah.
Real nice character there.
Yeah. So, I'm like, oh, this is it. And so I look up the game store online, and then I see his, what's the review? Yelp. I see his Yelp reviews. They're already terrible. And so anyway, I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
No, let's hear it, Matt.
No, you mentioned it, and like word got out of your experience.
Oh yeah, I went on a couple of groups and stuff. And
So all of a sudden,
God.
his Facebook page had only a few reviews on it. By the time it was done, it had like an average score of like 1.7 stars out of 5, and all these reviews, which were pretty much spot on. Like I believe one was something about, you go into the bathroom and there was Nazi paraphernalia all over the place. And
before I took it to this extreme to even mention it to anyone, I did mail him first. And I said, the console that you sent me was not the original, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to get a hold of eBay on this. And, of course, I never got a response on that.
because he knew his...
Right, and they know how eBay works. It's always the buyer's fault. It's not the... I'm sorry, it's always the seller's fault. The buyer is always right.
Really? Because I do think we had an issue with eBay on the show earlier in the year that would tell a different story.
Yeah.
Forgot, don't open a Nintendo Gauge. Apparently that ruins everything on eBay.
Yeah,
But Jake took this one high. He took it up to instead of just an automated system, which you had to go up and call.
Yeah. So I'm
Because
thinking
originally they said.
Okay. Basically, the way a return works on eBay, they tell you to inspect the item. If it's not, in the condition it was supposed to be, as you send it out, to contact them. Obviously, I did because I knew he swapped out consoles. Mm-hmm. So I get it, and I send them the pictures of, okay, here's the console I had for sale. Here is the console I got back, and there's even like nicks on the shell that weren't on
So
mine.
completely obvious.
Obviously that it's not my original console. And so anyway, I send them these pictures, and so I send him these pictures, and anyway, he never gets back to me. eBay gets back to me, and they said they refunded him the money. And this point, I'm fuming. It's like, what do I need? I gave you the pictures, as proof, and I even had the box he returned it in and everything.
Whoa! Did you open that up?
Yeah, exactly. I made specifically to say there was no screws in this when I got it and everything else. Yeah, I know, because Chuck had that problem. And
yeah, don't open anything.
My gosh. So anyway,
if you're dealing with eBay, don't unscrew anything. Or
if you do, don't claim that you did to make sure it was fake. So yeah, anyway, I call eBay, and I'm gonna guess the refund policy that they got is almost automated, or there's this guy that has like an intelligence of 10, just pressing like a Y button on a keyboard. Return. Yes. It's like the Simpsons episode with the
welcome to Costco, love you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Costco, love you.
So
Welcome to Costco. Love you.
I call up there, and this super nice lady is like, okay, oh wow, that's awful. Let me look into this. And then she's like, okay, we're reversing it.
Meanwhile, she's on hold going, how do you find our number?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you do have to go searching for it. Basically, they have all this automated stuff, and then finally it's like, if you can't find your answer, here's the number. But yeah. So anyway, it worked out. I got my money back. What really stings me, though, even though it did completely ruin this guy's reputation as a game seller, because his Yelp reviews are awesome now, and so is his...
Unspoken fourth person's room. How's their bathroom?
A little bit crowdy.
Crowdy, okay.
Crowdy.
It's nasty.
So anyway, I think the worst part about this is when I got the refund, I believe is actually from eBay. I think eBay just cuts their losses and gives me money from them and not truly from him, which I think he just gets a slap on the wrist, which that does anger me. But luckily, the internet gave him more than a slap on the wrist.
He had his whole Facebook page. He hadn't posted on it in months. It was last year when he posted something. But all these reviews started pouring in.
You know you're in good shape when it's May of 2016 and the last post was Happy Halloween 2015.
Yeah.
So,
it's 2015
all
even?
of these posts start pouring in of one-star reviews. This guy's a crook. He swapped systems. He started World War II. Like, he eats babies. All of those things.
Yeah.
This Facebook page was gone by...
It was... Oh, I don't know.
The next day, I think.
Not even.
Or that
hours.
night, that night.
Yeah.
Because it happened during the middle of the day, and by the evening, it was gone.
Yeah.
The Yelp reviews started pouring in. So that
Which
guy...
you can't get rid of that.
You cannot. Nope. And the thing is, and I think someone around here wrote one. I can't decide who it was, but I'm pretty sure it may have been Mr. Bergen here.
No comment.
No comment. So,
I don't know what you're talking
this
about.
guy's business.
Docking.
Well, I almost felt bad, even though I was getting screwed over on the deal. I almost felt bad with the amount of hatred this guy was getting. And the best part is, I didn't even do any of it myself, and I didn't even tell these people to do it.
Your
they
brothers
took
and sisters in arms took it upon themselves
exactly.
to...
Your brother himself went up there and murdered the guy. He's like, you're what's ruining mainstream America. If all you people knew Bob, it'd be better.
But somebody even I didn't even know you could do this. You can.
By the way, the more we talk about him on this show, we're gonna have to get him a T-shirt made that says "Yes, I'm that Bob."
Yeah,
with his photo on the T-shirt.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know you could do this. Somebody posted it in one of the groups or forums or whatever, and it said I didn't. So when you apparently rate someone, you can see what somebody else rates everyone else, and this guy was like 75% rating people badly. Oh, which he did give me a bad review. He said I sent him the wrong system. That made me mad because it did get reversed through eBay. But yeah,
you can't retort it, unfortunately.
Right. So anyway, he gave all these people bad reviews. So it's obvious what the guy was doing. I wasn't his first victim.
Yeah.
But and then the really sunny side of this, the system that he gave me was broken. I desoldered the voltage regulator, installed a new one. We're good to go. We got another working Jaguar now.
So all is well.
Yeah. So
if you're interested in buying a Jaguar off of Jake, be sure to come to Mo Game Con.
It works beautifully now.
Yeah. He'll autograph it for you.
Yep.
And if you can find Bob, he'll autograph it for you.
Yep. Mushroom print and all.
Yes.
Because he likes Mario.
Yes. Yeah. That's you can make it grow.
He's one-upping us.
So that's my rant.
That's a good way.
That's a good rant.
Yeah.
I think we're going to close it out on that one. Apologies for the shorter show this week, but I'm still attending to my family issues, and I have to get back to that. So, but still.
But you're back.
Yeah, over an hour show. I'll be back next week for the next one.
Yeah.
You're always welcome, Jake.
Yeah.
And that, feel free.
Maybe not every week, but every other week. Yeah.
Well,
It's every other week.
Okay.
Week anyway.
There you go.
Hopefully, Overclocked will be back in. We had some issues with that during my leave, but I'll let you guys know when that's coming back up again. Of course, check out your YouTube channel.
What's it again, Jake?
YouTube.com/Zebular.
Spell it.
Zebular.
All right, go like that. Yeah, last show's on there now. Apologies for some issues that came up with that. That was my fault. But the last show's there, and feel free to push this one up there too.
Awesome.
And,
Yeah, definitely. I'll mirror it.
Cool. Anybody else got anything before we go?
I got nothing. But thank y'all for listening. And send us more emails.
I've
Yeah.
got nothing but love.
Yeah.
Well, that's not true.
On behalf of the man in the corner, anything?
No,
No.
Salutations.
absolutely not.
All right. Well, great to be back. Look forward to being back regularly on the show. And to next week. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Bye.
Goodbye.